My name is Textera, and I'll be hosting for you guys for the next couple of games. Next up is Ryan Ford playing The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX. Any percent no wrong warp out of bounds. That's a whole lot of text. Ryan, feel free to take the stage, man. Good luck.
Alright, so I'm back again, everybody. If you saw the gimmick any percent run, and yeah, that's me again. So I'll talk more about this run once we get the timer started. I'll count down from 3, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so yeah, as said, Link's Awakening DX, any percent no wrong warp, not out of bounds, or no woob for short. That's what the community calls it. So wrong warping is basically so using the doghouse glitch, if you know about it, flipping into the back of the doghouse and entering the glitched world is banned. Which normally, if you do unrestricted any percent, you can beat the game in like 2 minutes. So doing ace, so it's really broken. And even the no ace category you can beat in like less than 5 minutes. So that's completely banned. And then out of bounds, there's a lot to it. So I'll talk more about it when I get further into the run. So currently, I'm gonna be talking to the owl on the beach, and I have my shield sticking out because Link's hitbox to grab stuff is extended when he has his sword or shield out. So you can grab it slightly early as you end the last text box to save like a second. And one of the biggest instances of RNG in this category is rupee farming. So I need to get 10 rupees to be able to buy bombs and to also play the trendy game. So for safety, I'm gonna actually try and kill most of these beach enemies because they have a 50% chance to drop a rupee. Safety strat did not pay out since none of the extra 3 enemies I killed dropped a rupee. So they're all 50%, and then additionally you can duplicate rupees by when the rupee drops, if it touches Link's body and his shield or sword on the same frame, then he'll collect a rupee twice. So I was able to dupe all of them except for the very first rupee that dropped because it was already grounded. And you kind of do what's called a manual dupe, but it's frame rule based, so it's like a 50-50 whether it'll work or not. So unfortunately, did not get it. So now I'm lawn mowing forever to try and get 1 rupee. The classic. I actually had like pretty solid luck on the beach, but yeah, the grass is destroying me. So each grass tile I cut has a 1 in 16 chance to drop a rupee, and your spin slash cuts about 8 tiles. So usually I have about half a chance per spin slash to get like 1 rupee drop. And it might drop on top of your sword too, so you might like dupe it, but it's like pretty luck dependent because it depends on which way you're facing. So there I stole the shovel and took a death. Because the shovel costs 200 rupees, so nobody's got time to farm that much money. And now I'm quote-unquote buying bombs by confirming the purchase and then buffering a save and quit on the next frame to save and quit, and it because it puts the bombs in your inventory, but it doesn't take your rupees on the next frame. So by keeping the 10 rupees, I can play the trendy game here, spending 10 rupees, which I want to get the magic powder early with this crane game. If I do miss, I have to reset, but because I just saved and quit when I was buying the bombs, then you can steal the bow again and then exit. Which the bow I stole before costs 980 rupees. It's supposed to be like a late game weapon, so it's gonna destroy some of the mini bosses really early in like 2 hits. So I went in and out of that house to set up my save point, because whenever you change submaps, then your save point gets updated for when you save and quit. So when I grab the key to be able to enter Dungeon 1 with, then I'm gonna save and quit instead of just backtracking all the way. And Yeah, I did try to kind of skip that owl cutscene with a trick called a bomb trigger, which now I'm going to be doing another mandatory bomb trigger this time. Whoops. So, you stand right up against the screen transition and drop a bomb on the same frame that you're about to transition. Then the game makes you drop a second bomb, and it causes the game to glitch out and activate whatever is the first sprite slot. And any screens that have a cutscene occupies the first sprite slot, so you're able to either play cutscenes or skip them. So it skips using the magic powder on Terran when he's a Tanuki, and skips like the cutscene that comes with it when you normally use the powder on him. So even though it took a while to get it, it's still like save time. So you can put the key in sideways for whatever reason, slightly faster. And I did a menu after entering the dungeon, because whenever you enter a dungeon, the game stops you with a text box that tells you which dungeon you just entered. So it'll say like level 1 Tail Cave. But if you pause, it skips that text, so it's convenient to do your menu there as well. To save like 2 seconds. And yeah, since I need to equip my either bow or sword and shield because of these spike enemies, want to flip them over by bumping them with your shield. And then arrows one-shot them, and then your sword takes either 2 normal slashes or 1 spin slash to kill them. So arrows are better, but the arrow routing is kind of tight. Whoops, for this category, so you definitely don't want to miss shots. So there I got what's probably the most broken item in the game, Rock's Feather. So this allows Link to jump, which is kind of rare for Zelda games, especially 2D ones. And with it, I'm going to be able to do a glitch called Super Jump, which, so when I talked about out of bounds stuff, so Link can naturally clip into walls and fences and objects up to 3 pixels, and if he's clipped into a wall and you jump along a wall facing the opposite direction of a wall that has a ledge, then you can Link kind of like jumps off of the ledge, and he doesn't have a Z axis when that happens, so you can just kind of like phase through stuff as well. So that's the super jump. So I jumped over the key block and got the nightmare key early to be able to get to this boss room. And admittedly, this is like probably the hardest like boss fight in the run, but I used some pretty safe strats to just like hit him with single slashes behind him. Moldorm, he can, if you get knocked into those pits, you fall into a different part of the room, and you have to re-enter the room and have to redo the whole fight. And he does 1 heart of damage, and his movement is random, and it's like easy to clank hits on him a lot. Despite making that look really easy, it's like kind of hard, like starting out. But yeah, so with out of bounds, so yeah, with the being able to clip up to 3 pixels into a wall. So if you are more than 3 pixels inside of a solid tile, like a wall or something, and if you transition on solid tiles, then that's considered out of bounds. So if you're like transitioning like through like a tree or through like a wall or something, then that's out of bounds. So won't be doing that. And yeah, so those texts with those kids, for whatever reason in the Japanese version, you can press a B and it just like skips all their text boxes. Like normally they give you about like 13 or something text boxes where they're kind of just like stuttering a lot, trying to tell you that a disaster happened in the village. So basically you're supposed to be told that so this lady named Madame Meow Meow, her pet Bow Wow got kidnapped by these moblins. So now I'm in the moblin cave and I'm fighting King Moblin right now. So I'm gonna try to kill him in 2 cycles. So you need him to bonk into a wall so that he gets dizzy. And he has 8 health, so spin slashes do 2 damage, normal slashes do 1. So you can either do like 5 damage and then 3 to 2 cycle him, or 4 and 4, or 3 and 5, what have you. And there's Bow Wow, so Chain Chomp that also barks like a dog. And we actually need him to be able to get access to Dungeon 2, because these flowers in the way, we can't kill them. And it's RNG, really RNG dependent. When Bow Wow will eat something, he like instantly ate that plant and ate the middle one, so that was like the most perfect luck I've ever seen, like, in a run. And yeah, so with menus, you can place the items like wherever you want in the menu, and you have the choice of placing items on your B or A button. So, people kind of have like custom like menu routes as well to try and like minimize like menu movement. Admittedly, because I've played so many different categories, I like don't really have a set route. I usually just try to kind of keep whatever the important items, like try to kind of keep them like in a square, like beside each other, to make it easier to access them with only like one menu movement. So yeah, there's Hinox. Again, the bow is broken, so for the early game, so you can just kill him in 2 shots, just like I killed Rolling Bones in Dungeon 1 as well. And I'm going to be doing a trick called Ghost Skip, which you're able to push those ghosts out of the room instead of lighting the torches with the magic powder to scare them off. But yeah, by luring them to the corner and shooting them both with a single arrow, you're able to push them out of the room. You can use your sword alternatively. And there I skipped the Heart Piece of Shame, since this is not 100%, so don't need to collect that. I think it loses like, I think it's like somewhere between 3 and 5 seconds grabbing it. So not a huge time loss either. So I'm trying to get Bow Wow to eat enemies as well. Because for this next dungeon coming up, there's a gonna be an item drop called the Piece of Power, which when you get it, it increases your movement speed by 25%. It lasts until either you change submaps, so like leaving a dungeon or something, and or if you take 3 hits as well, not counting falling into pits. And now here I'm doing what's it called? Villa skip. So doing what's called a pit buffer by pausing on the same frame that Link was supposed to fall into the pit. So once it made the sound of him falling, then you get pushed down a few pixels, and there's actually a naturally standable tile down there. So you can use that to transition and enter the villa through the wrong way. And I was able to exit by zipping out by standing on half a tile that had a bush in the way when I transitioned. So when you enter a screen, if there's like a solid object in Link's way, then the game tries to place Link on the next available tile. So conveniently, the next available tile is right outside of the villa, so you can skip having to exit by backtracking the intended route. Which you never saw it. There's like a whole like cave that you have to go into, but I skipped ever entering the cave. So that villa skip saves several minutes, because it skips needing to go to Canelet Castle, which you need to get 5 golden leaves there, and then it's a kid named Richard that lets you into the villa to get that key to enter Dungeon 3. But by doing that skip, then yeah, you skip having to detour all the way over there. And then yeah, Dungeon 3, it's called Key Cavern. So, alright, there's Piece of Power. There's a Guardian Acorn beside it, and I really didn't want to pick it up, because otherwise the last one you pick up will take priority, so that's why I was extra careful to grab it. So they landed right next to each other. Yeah, so Key Cavern, the gimmick is you're supposed to get a bunch of keys to beat this dungeon, but whoops, thanks to super jumping and doing like that Dodongo skip earlier, then you can go over like a bunch of key blocks, and you only need I think a total of like 3 keys to beat this dungeon, instead of needing like, I think it's like 8 or 9 normally. So there I did a trick called the French Press, which you're able to super jump and then bounce with your shield off of the Stalfos. I had both sword and shield equipped because to be able to turn while you're mid-air, you can slash your sword in that direction. So if you do it too early, your sword will hit the Stalfos and just kill it. So and if you're late, you'll barely get any distance when you bounce off of him and won't make it up top to get that Nightmare Key. And now here's Slime Eye. Now that, since I have Piece of Power, my sword's also doing double damage, so you're able to speed up this fight by quite a lot. So, pretty much made quick work of him. Like, there's a lot more technical detail to that fight, but like, yeah, I mean, the fight's too short that can't really like talk about it anyway. And yeah, previously the mini boss, the Dodongo snakes, I was doing a super jump off of the wall, and then doing a spin slash to clank off of them and get over a block, which skips using a key as well. So I had to do it twice. The first time to get the boots, and the second time to get into the stairs to get towards the boss. But yeah, that trick is kind of tight, and if you mess it up, you can get stuck in the block that you're supposed to jump over. And if you do, then you're soft locked, and you need to save and quit and go back to the start of the dungeon. So it like loses a lot of time if you fail that trick. If you fail by being too early, then like you can just leave the room and then try again. So it's like only loses like 5 seconds. So as long as you're not late, then you won't lose like 5 years to failing it. So I'm taking damage on purpose. Oh wow, Bow Wow did a good job not eating those guys. Normally he like is like heavily aggressive on them. So I'm damaging down because I'm gonna need to take a death intentionally. So, but before that, I'm gonna be doing a trick which does have a soft lock risk called oh, what the hell is this trick called? Walrus skip. So yeah, with another bomb trigger, it causes Marin. So normally Marin's supposed to sing to put this walrus to sleep, but since she's not here, it does like cause it to sleep. But then an additional cutscene is supposed to play, but the cutscene won't play because I don't have Marin with me and because I have Bow Wow. So you'll get permanently stuck if you try to if you don't leave that screen on the don't leave that screen before the cutscene starts playing. But since you can move like half a tile as the cutscene is starting, then you can leave on exactly the frame that it's starting, and for some reason the game considers it played. Then I needed to take a death because when you do that bomb trigger, something to do with the cutscene, it locks your A, B, start, and select buttons, so I couldn't use any of them. So to unlock it, you need to either change submaps or just die, basically. So yeah, so I took an intentional death to be able to have my buttons work, because I needed to go kill that quote-unquote mini-boss, Lanmola. And before his text and his body even appeared, then I was able to just shoot 2 arrows, because his hurt box is active when you enter that room. So, normally in the Link to the Past, Lanmola is a pretty big, like, reset point in the early game, but yeah, you just, like, kill him, like, instantly. So here, Bow Wow might, in the Armos maze, Bow Wow might eat some of these Armos. If he does, they always drop arrows, so I'm gonna try to refill on some of my arrows as well. I think as long as I have, like, more than 4, I should be fine, but could pick up some extra for safety as well. And then here I was using an audio cue to know when to start dashing to hit the Armos Knight. And I also did a glitch called the Boots glitch. So when the Armos Knight jumped and stomped the ground, I got stunned. But if you're mid-dash with your boots, then you get what's called infinite boots. And you just start dashing in place with boot speed. And if you have your sword equipped, normally when Link is dashing, then he runs with his sword out in front of him, so he just holds his sword out while running in place, so you can just like keep hitting him because he'll keep running into you. Also, those arrow drops, you can duplicate them if they, again, like, whoops, they drop onto your shield and your body on the same frame. So really want to be careful here, because this bomb fairy is kind of in the way, and they do a heart of damage, and I have only 2 hearts currently. Which, most often, because when you take that intentional death, like way back, then you start off with 3 hearts again, so this part of the run can be kind of dangerous in terms of dying, especially like in the Armos maze, because if you get hit by any of those Armoses, they do 2 hearts of damage. But anyways, I made Bow Wow eat the cutscene by causing a sprite slot overload by shooting a bomb arrow against the wall, and for whatever reason, then Bow Wow will eat the cutscene. Sometimes it drops a heart too if he does, but fortunately didn't get one this time. And yeah, that allows you to start moving before the cutscene actually ends, so you can just enter the dungeon a little bit faster. So I might have to be careful here. So I can just hold up and left to try and get through this section, but sometimes those big orbs might get in your way, depending on their RNG when they're moving. And they might, what's it called? Then you might take damage, and they do half a heart, and my health is already pretty low, and if you get like the worst luck, you might get hit 3 times, so like, I would perfectly die with this much health left. And then there's this tile room, which, you can speed it up by breaking the last couple tiles with like a combination of like bombs and throwing pots or taking damage. Oh, I dropped the bomb too early, so I didn't kill that last tile. And now with the level 2 bracelet, it can lift the heavier objects, and also Link's speed to lift stuff is a little bit faster as well. Which, the increased speed for lifting up stuff also happens when you have Piece of Power, but there's not really anywhere to showcase that in this run, because you don't lift anything in Dungeon 3. Forgot my menu, then I mismenued after. And yeah, so for this dungeon you have to throw the pot at that chest to open it, to get the nightmare key, for the boss key. And did a trick there called the shack jump, which, whoops. So if you're pressing against an interactable object, like the key block that normally would give you text, then yeah, for whatever reason you can like super jump even if you're not clipped into a wall when you're interacted with it. As long as you're touching, like your back is touching the wall. And then I did another super jump to kind of backtrack the reverse direction of where we're supposed to get the nightmare key. And those horse heads that I just threw is actually RNG. So they have each one has a 50% chance to land upright, and I got both first try. It's like a 1 in 4 chance to get that to open. So like the last run that I did in like a marathon earlier today, I think I had like 14th try or something. So I was like sitting there for a while. So it's a pretty stark difference. So this boss, Facade, his hurt box is vulnerable before his text appears, so you can get 3 free bomb hits. So it turns this fight into a 2 cycle instead of a 5 cycle, basically. Because you start only being able to hit him with like 1 bomb, then his hurt box will disappear for a while and then come back. But I was using an audio cue, so that's kind of why I kept stopped talking for a bit. And here, just doing bomb boys for fun. It's like a little swag thing. So yeah. What's it called? So yeah, I guess the next like couple tricks coming up. So I'm gonna attempt to do a bomb trigger with this screen transition. So I dropped the bomb and got the bomb trigger to skip the owl landing. So it saves like 2 seconds. And then, oh god. That was a weird mistake to make. Alright, yeah, so I'm gonna be doing a series of Jesus jumps, so... same with pit buffers, you can also cancel yourself drowning in water. Oh, I think I need to do one more jump. because I might not be right against the wall. Yeah, so yeah, there's a one frame where Link can stand on the water if you pause and cancel yourself from drowning. And oh my god, yeah, that bomb fairy was in my way, so it was kind of distracting. But I try to swing at it. Yeah, so definitely want to be careful. All right, cool. Yeah, so you can do like 4 to 5 Jesus jumps to get out of Dungeon 6 area, because I don't have the flippers yet, because I haven't gone to Dungeon 4. I went straight to Dungeon 6 first. The reason that I wanted to do Dungeon 6 first is that so there's this ghost that appears after you beat Dungeon 4, and he wants you to help him by bringing him to his house, and he also won't allow you to enter any dungeons, and we don't need him in this category. So for whatever reason, getting the level 2 bracelet inside Dungeon 6 makes the ghost never spawn after you beat Dungeon 4, so that's why we go to Dungeon 6 first. And with that, I did a strat called the French Bonks, or Le Bonks, where yeah, I was bonking over pit tiles, and since I don't have feather equipped. It's mostly for swag, because it saves only like 0.2 seconds over doing the alternate route. The new alternate route, anyway. The old route, compared to the old route, it saved like half a second, but now it saves like 0.2. And so yeah, I went in and out of that cave to set up my save point. So, because I need to put in the angler key that I got from the desert area when I killed Lanmola. So I got that key way back, and putting it in to unlock Dungeon 4, and then just save and quitting instead of backtracking, because it's a little faster. And yeah, so now I've got what's called Swag Cave, because there's a bunch of like small time saves with swag strats that you can do in here. I did a pretty standard like first room, and then there's a trick called Obstacle Skip right here, where you can jump over that obstacle instead of running through it. I don't 100% know how much time it saves, because I've heard 3 different sources, like the world record history video said it saves like half a second, and then the guide that I learned the run from says it saves a quarter of a second, and then an old world record run for a different category, the runner said that it saves 10 frames, so and it's a 60 FPS game, so it's 3 different timings I've heard for the same trick, basically. So here I'm gonna try to Jesus jump, or well, not really jump, but by pit buffering on the water, you can get pushed down into that block and push the other block. Though I lost time because I did a billion extra pauses, though.
Who comes up with all these names, man?
The community. I joined them pretty late, so.
Le Bonk Jesus jump, really?
Yeah, Le Bonks is because there was a lot of French runners that were like on the top of the leaderboards, or like had world record in a lot of categories. So, and then yeah, I think the Le Bonks was popularized by French runner named Alos, who I think he actually runs Rayman too, I think.
Don't think so.
Alright, I might be wrong.
Unless it's... Which Rayman is it even?
I know he runs a Rayman game, but I'm not sure which.
Yeah. Don't think so, but maybe.
It's like AULLOS. But yeah, but yeah, I got the early nightmare key with that just now by doing a super jump and clicking off of the P hat. That was actually a safer strat that I did, because the faster strat saves a very small amount of time, like 2 or 3 seconds, but there is a risk of going out of bounds if you like mess it up badly, so I didn't bother. And if you go out of bounds, you might also like crash the game, like doing the other strat, so it's not really marathon safe, I don't think. But yeah. Oh, also, Thex, if you got anything to plug, by chance.
Yeah, sure. I mean, for starters, as you may have seen already, that we're only 131 euros away from beating our last BSG 06 donation total. And we're not even on Sunday yet. Like,
Holy.
That's crazy to me. Donations have been pretty awesome. Currently, there is some incentives open for the Dark Souls 3 glitchless file main, where ESA Plum is winning by 10 euros. Then we also have a Crash Bandicoot 2 language choice, where at the moment German is just destroying the competition with 85, where all the others have 0, which is English, French, Italian, and Spanish. So if you want to watch Crash Bandicoot in a different language than German, be sure to get those donations in. And then, of course, there is the costume choice for Control, where asynchronous suit is winning. But yeah, keep on donating, guys. Let's see if we can actually reach the last BSG donation goal today. That would be sick.
Nice. I assume there's an exclamation point donate command as well. I'm not sure.
You bet.
Alright, so yeah, make sure to spam that emote. Oh, spam that command a little bit. But yeah, Dungeon 5, in this category, it's like my favorite dungeon actually. In 100% categories, it's probably my least favorite dungeon, but it's like such a dynamic difference. So yeah, there is gonna be like quite a bit of use of like saving quitting to to backtrack a bit. So yeah, there's a lot of like tough strats and a lot of like enemies to beat up throughout this. And the main gimmick is this mini boss, Master Stalfos. You're supposed to fight him 4 times. So, and the first 3 times he'll run away after a certain amount of hits. So I overkilled him this time by getting 4 hits instead of getting 3 and then having him run away. And if you overkill him, he drops a key there. And the mini-boss music also doesn't stop playing until you manage to change the music. And so yeah, there's Master Stalfos 2. He's just back again, all of a sudden. This time I'm gonna actually make him run away, because I don't think he drops anything after you overkill him the first time. In the second and third fight. And gonna detour here to grab some bombs. So these flying items are actually worth 10 of the items, so I'm gonna grab like bombs and arrows occasionally to refill on the route. And able to kill that Zol through the wall. Oh, what am I doing? Alright, yeah, so I was supposed to drop a bomb, but I was like spin slashing preemptively. That's why I was confusing myself. So yeah, Master Stalfos 3, basically the same thing as the second time. And then clip into the wall and do what's called a naked super jump. So normally I've been using a sword slash or using arrows to face away from the wall, but if you manage to jump while facing backwards, you can still also do a super jump. So this is one of it's like a kind of annoying trick. It's not that hard, but hopefully I don't die while going for it. Alright, cool. So early Nightmare Key. Normally you're supposed to get the hook shot and jump. Or sorry, use the hook shot to pull out the small bridge to get across, but your boots jump can just barely make it across if you hit the corner of a pit tile. So I'm trying to jump while vertically being in between. Wait, is it vertically? Yeah, vertically being in between 2 tiles. 2 pit tiles, so that you kind of get dragged into the pit instead of instantly falling like you would if you go into the center of a pit tile. Oh, whoops, mismenued there. And yeah, so I was able to get it 3rd try, so fortunately it didn't take too long. I also I'm gonna be using a save and quit, but the hookshot takes a while to actually register in your inventory, so if you save and quit immediately after picking it up, then you won't have it in your inventory. And if that happens, then Master Astolfo's 4 will be back, so you have to go back to that room and fight him again to get it again. So, I actually buffered the saving quit too early the first time, and but I caught myself and didn't autopilot, because that can be like a pretty big run killer if you make that mistake. And in addition, because you use a lot of bomb arrows, it kind of wastes your ammo by having to fight him again. Oh, whoops. So there I did something called the book shot. So if you have hook shot equipped to B, that's the only reason it's called book shot. Equipped to B and feather on A, then if you press A and B on the same frame, then for some reason Link will jump, and when he hooks onto something and gets pulled towards it, he gets pulled at twice his normal speed. Someone just kept forgetting that they needed the hook shot on B particularly for that to work, so that's why I got named the book shot instead of something else. Yeah, because for whatever reason, if you have hook shot on A instead, it like won't work. So it's weird. So yeah, that wall snake boss is fairly easy. You have to pull him out of the wall, and regardless of how many like sword upgrades or having piece of power or anything, he still always takes 8 hits to kill. So with your like regular just base sword, you can get usually 4 to 5 hits in a cycle, so it's pretty easy to 2-cycle the fight. If you mess up badly enough though, then if it goes to a 3rd cycle and he's taken over, I think, 5 damage, then there's a 50% chance he might give you a fake snake when you pull him out of the wall. And the fake snake will like crawl around the room for a while and then explode eventually. And you can't do damage to the real one during that time, so it can lose a lot of time if you make a mistake. So, not much else to really note about that fight. So now making the long trek all the way back up Tal Heights to go to Dungeon 7. And gonna take this warp because it's a little bit faster than doing the French bonks again. Now that I visited that screen with the warp tile, then the warp is always active. So the first time I never visited that screen, so that's pretty much the reason that I couldn't do it the first time and had to do the French bonks and stuff. Yeah, so coming up, there's another like kind of run killing trick partway up. So I need to get the bird key, which is the key to get into Dungeon 7. So there's gonna be a trick coming up. Before that, I'm gonna try to do obstacle skip again. Oh, I am flubbing by touching the obstacle. So, never mind. 1 out of 2 in the run, not bad. Yeah, so, a trick called Rooster Skip. So, normally you're supposed to, learn the Frog Song of Soul to, reanimate, dead things, basically. So you can, revive a chicken that was back in the first, in the village that where I started the run, and, use it to fly over these, pit tiles, but that's really slow, and also I don't even have, like, the ocarina, and won't have it for, like, the entirety of the run, thanks to bomb triggers. So I did a save and quit there for a combination of safety, but also, there's kind of like a glitch that'll happen versus the, next boss that I'm gonna fight, which, can only happen if you, save and quit and never visit a screen that has like one of those warp tiles that I was taking. So yeah, there you can do hookshot jumps. So when the hookshot comes back to Link, there's 1 frame that he can jump before falling into a pit. And if you fall into those pits, it puts you outside that waterfall part where I just fell right now. And either because I save and quit already, then you'd either have to soft reset and then try again from the start of the cave, or just backtrack all the way back up to that cave again. So backtracking, I think, loses like half a minute, and I think the soft reset loses like 15 seconds. But there's a category that has like no save quit, so it's like even more punishing if you mess it up in that category. And yeah, Bow Wow getting in my way when trying to shoot the hook shot. That can also happen during Rooster Skip, because I never brought Bow Wow back home. Like, you're normally not intended to have him for like this long in the run, but it's slow to go back to the main village and give it back and bring him back. So you just keep him. But that also makes Rooster Skip like really dangerous, because Bow Wow will sometimes get in your way and block your hook shot, and might just straight up kill the run due to like RNG. Whoops, I did not mean to menu there. So I was trying to make Bow Wow eat that cutscene again by having the rock that I threw when it's breaking. If you put the key into the key slot, that for whatever reason causes Bow Wow to potentially eat the cutscene, but I moved late, so didn't get it. Saves like, I think, a second, because you have to leave that screen and reload the screen to have the dungeon be active again. So yeah, Dungeon 7, Eagle Tower. So normally the gimmick is, this dungeon, people get stuck here casually like all the time for their first playthrough, but these pillars, so there's a different room that you're normally supposed to grab a metal ball and find ways to get to these pillars and throw it at the pillars, but because they're tied to a cutscene, you can just bomb trigger and break all of them, so it makes this dungeon extremely short because of that. And that makes the 4th floor of the dungeon collapse into the 3rd floor, which makes you able to get to the boss, pretty much. And by super jumping over that wall, you can skip a ton of backtracking as well. And want to hit this switch to have these pegs down. So now another sort of run killing trick that's pretty RNG dependent, called oh my god, called Goomba Surf. So we need the top Goomba to move to the right, and then I'm gonna try to super jump and bounce off of him and cross that gap, which skips using the Nightmare Key. There is like 2 backup strats that I think one loses like 12 seconds, the other loses like 15. If you detour to a different room and use like super jumps, but they're guaranteed and not RNG dependent compared to that Goomba Surf. Which each extra try that you need when you reload the room for the Goomba Surf, you it loses 3 seconds per try, I think. So sometimes you can get stuck there for a really long time. So the glitch I mentioned, when I saved and quit in the cave before doing the Rooster Skip, so for some reason the screen below is not solid, so I'm able to just shoot my hook shot and screen wrap it to hit the boss while he's off screen and stun lock him to death. So if I visited any screen that has a one of those warp tiles, then it makes the ground solid as it's normally supposed to be. Which is such a weird glitch, but otherwise the alternative strat would be to just throw bombs at him like 3 times to try and kill him. But it is slower. Which there are some other categories, like the no save quit one. You have to do the bomb strat instead. So there I open the save quit menu, which lets Link, you get control of Link in the air and move sideways so that you don't fall into that pit. If you drop into that pit, you fall to the bottom of the mountain and it like loses like probably like a minute or close to a minute, because then you have to climb back up to get over here. So you really don't want to make that mistake and fall in there. And then now I'm gonna try to skip Marin. So she was put up here by some moblins, and you know, she's like, Link, help me, I'm stuck. And so normally you're supposed to use the hook shot to pull her across with you, but if you skip by jumping underneath her, then you don't have to interact with her, because it loses like 40 seconds because you get a lot of text during that time, because Marin talks to you, then her dad comes and talks to you both, and then the owl comes and talks to you, so it's like a pretty massive time loss. Sometimes some runners will have like a donation incentive to save Marin, but I never do it though.
Hey, about donations, can I quickly interfere?
Oh, absolutely.
Alright, we got 25 euros from Xastra saying, nice marathon, keep it going. Thank you very much.
Nice, we're getting pretty close to breaking the record for last event, eh?
Yeah, 106 euros remain. Yeah, we still have a full day of speedruns for you guys tomorrow, so...
Yo, keep them coming, everybody. So yeah, just now I did a bomb trigger, because again you need Frog Song of Soul to normally revive this dragon, or whatever it is. And as his neck is extending out, the hitbox is not solid until his neck is fully extended, so you can just walk through his head and enter the dungeon. Also, oddly enough, when you bomb trigger to wake him up, then yeah, if you bomb trigger to wake him up, then he has only 1 health, so when you hit him, he'll just like instantly die. But he won't be permanently gone. Oh shoot, this rupee's in the way. So yeah, he won't be permanently gone though. Like if you like enter the dungeon and leave, he'll just be back. And yeah, there I did a bookshot clip. So again, with the bookshot, there's like 2 specific pixels you can stand on, and hit like the corner of the block to clip through the key block there to get to the stairs, which gets to the main mini boss of this dungeon, Blano. It's a little penguin-looking thing with boxing gloves. And because yeah, this dungeon normally is supposed to be like a mini boss gauntlet, and you're supposed to fight a bunch of like mini bosses from previous dungeons. Oh, I was supposed to save and quit, but I wrong muscle memory from the no save quit category that I recently ran. It barely saves time to save and quit there, so it's fine. So naked super jump to get over the wall, and then gonna be trying a trick called lava swim. So I slashed my sword to set my subpixels correctly while transitioning on the screen with the Jesus jump. And because I have the flippers, you can like swim in the lava after you transition, because you end up not bypassing the damage trigger. And yeah, the dungeon item I got was magic rod, so it sets things on fire through magic. So that room is just easier to kill the Vire, because he like runs away from you and like moves off screen like a ton. It's like really annoying to handle, but dice in 1 hit to the magic rod if you can hit him. And then yeah, killed Cue Ball, who's actually the main mini boss from Dungeon 4, but because I grabbed the flippers in an unintended way with the Jesus jump back then I skipped that fight entirely as well. And yeah, so you have to fill in that room with the rolling rock to get the nightmare key from there to be able to fight the boss. Here, I'm gonna grab some arrows, so that's worth 10, and I need to have above 16 arrows for the final boss. So here, map buffer to skip this boss's text. And his spawn point when he comes out of the lava is RNG, and there's certain zones that he can enter on like the edges of the screen where you can hit him and he won't take damage. So normally he takes 5 hits with the magic rod to break his outer shell, and then 2 more hits after that to kill him. So probably saw I hit him like 7 or 8 times, but I hit the bad spots. And there's Wang Boys. It's a little visual glitch with the magic rod. Do you roll a rock to save rock and roll? Oh my goodness. Alright, so important that I don't forget to go back to Dungeon 2 in this category, because we split Dungeon 2 into 2 visits for the end, because with all these new items, then it makes the second half faster. So the first visit I went and did the ghost skip, and got the bracelet, and then I just left, like save and quit and left the dungeon pretty much. Oh, I was about to just walk past the dungeon after saying all that. Holy moly. I was like literally saying that to like remind myself, yo, Bamboo Shadow, legend for this game especially. And I'm pretty sure that Bamboo is run for ESA as well. So yeah, doing a safer strat here by So I did a hook shot into the pot and then picked it up, and for whatever reason that makes Link intangible until I like throw the hook shot. And you can like walk through enemies and stuff with it. So you have to kill those enemies in a specific order where I got the nightmare key. So the rabbit, the bat, and then the hooded Stalfos. So yeah, so I had to kill them in that order and not let the other enemies get in the way. And yeah, so we got the genie. So normally you're supposed to fight this guy in 3 cycles, where you need to dodge these fireballs, then grab his pot and throw it. But if you clip into the wall, if you clip into the wall and throw the pot to the left, while clipped, it does damage per frame inside the wall. So it hits it 3 times and like instantly breaks it. So with that, you can very easily make quick work of him. I got the side wing this time. Whoops. So I used the magic rod a little late, but more visual glitches. Yeah, so almost at the end. So additionally, it's faster to do that dungeon because because the windfish egg that I need to open by having all the instruments is pretty much right here by dungeon 2. So talking to the owl. So normally you're supposed to have the ocarina and play the Ballad of the Windfish to open it, but through bomb triggers, then you can just bomb trigger the song. As long as you have all the instruments, then it makes it work. And yeah, probably got about 40 seconds if you want to plug anything, by the way.
Sadly, no donations, but I mean, all your donations are going to Mind, which is a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who is dealing with mental issues themselves or within their family. All of your donations will go to Mind.
Oh, I was typing in chat, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, just as a reminder, we are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering. We actually organize bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners, though to the situation surrounding COVID-19, we're currently doing our events online, as you can see, for the time being. This event features streamers from both the Benelux and also from the rest of the world. As you can see right now, we have a Canadian running for you guys. We are here to bring you entertainment during the lockdown.
Indeed. It's been fun, like, submitting for the last couple. So, glad that y'all could have me as well.
It's great, yeah, which would normally never be possible, or unless you make a giant travel, of course, which you are always allowed to.
For sure. I gotta try to eventually. You know, once the craziness is over.
Yeah, those week-longs will be a recommendation then, because these are just weekends, but we also have a week-long. You know, BSG Annual 2022. It will run from the 14th until the 21st of August, and submissions are live.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, if anyone lives nearby, you definitely should, like, make the trek out.
Definitely.
Yeah, doing a RNG manipulation. So I'm actually using an app on my phone to look at if I need to be standing against the wall or standing 1 pixel away from the wall to make the Aghanim phase not give me any blue balls. If you're used to A Link to the Past, then you know about getting blue balls from Aghanim, which can waste a lot of time, depending on your luck. So, this Moldorm phase, actually I was supposed to try and stunlock him, but I don't know, I'd like lost my rhythm when I was like mashing the sword. Somehow. It's like fairly simple once you like get the stunlock activated, but I dropped it like midway through the stunlock, which is like actually never happened to me before. But it happens. And yeah, the final phase of the boss is Death Eye. will eventually open his eye, and I need to shoot a total of 16 arrows into his eye. So if you do it well enough, you can get about 4 shots per cycle. And he can take a varying amount of time to open his eye as well. So you can just lose a lot of time at the very end of the run to RNG. Like right now. So taking damage on purpose as well. Oh, I shot too early. Whoops. Oh, thank you for opening. There you go. I'm gonna have to do a 5th cycle because I tinked 2 shots as well. Okay, there you go. So time will be when I reach the top of the stairs and the screen will fade to white. In a brief moment. And yeah, I forgot to mention that I like caused the music to not play because I did a bomb trigger. Anyways, time. But yeah, the bomb trigger skips like 12 seconds worth of text, and also when I was doing that RNG manip, it the music actually rolls RNG, so you needed to quick kill the first phase and to RNG manip the second phase. But yeah, thanks to the GG everybody.
GG indeed.
So yeah, I guess a few things to say. Yeah, if you like what you saw, definitely give me a follow at Brian_Ford522. Definitely keep the donations up. We can like easily beat last marathon goal, or last marathon's total. And you won't see the last of me because I will be running Donkey Kong Country 2 tomorrow, 102%. That's the final run of the event, I think. But yeah, thank you. Alright, anyways, peace out, everybody.
Alright, thank you very much, Ryan, for that great Link's Awakening run. Next up is Soaring Sloth with Deltarune, all chapters, all bosses glitched on PC.